My first meeting with Rasik Shekhar Prabhu was in the year 2000. I used to come from Mysore to Bangalore for Rath Yatra. After Rath Yatra, the next day we used to attend MPP's lecture, Bhagavatam lecture, and then around 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock we used to go back to Mysore. After the lecture, we had a good interaction, introduction, and I also said that I am a student studying in Mysore. And later he also told about his background, and after that immediately he asked me, what is your plan after your studies? Do you want to join temple? Actually, I was just new, almost I think 1 year coming to Krishna consciousness. I didn't have any idea, but I was the same thing I conveyed to him. I have no plans of joining temple. Then he started telling about you should dedicate your life to the Krishna consciousness movement, and so many nice things which was very much inspiring. He was the first person to tell me about joining, and it was a good discussion, and we used to meet very often every year. Whenever he used to come for Rath Yatra to Mysore, or I used to come for to Bangalore, we used to meet him. And after 4 years, again after I joined temple, I had been to Bangalore temple. That time I met him, and he was very happy to see me with full shaved head and shika. And he said that after finally you're joined, you're dedicated your life. Then he said, never give up Krishna consciousness. You continue like this until your death. After a span of 2 years after my joining, Rasik Shekhar Prabhu was the TC there. And there was one instance which I can remember. One of my friend who had dedicated his life, he had joined temple, and because of some reasons he had left Krishna consciousness. He left temple, and some misunderstanding, and he left the temple. And he called me after going to his house. He called me, he said, he was also from Mysore, and he called me and said, I left the temple and gone away. So immediately I was shocked as soon as I heard, and I was thinking, why you left the temple? Then I was little emotional, and I went and shared with Rasik Shekhar Prabhu. And Rasik Shekhar Prabhu immediately said, he pacified me, he told, don't worry, we'll do one thing, we both will go together and we'll bring him back. And like that we decided, and both of us went to his house, spoke to his parents, and later Rasik Shekhar Prabhu spoke to the devotee, and he spent around 2 hours with him, and the devotee was also convinced. And later it was we brought the devotee back to the temple, and later on he never left the temple. So it was something which was very inspiring for me.
This was during our folk days, when myself and another devotee, we had gone for a folk trip to Mysore to attend the Rath Yatra ceremony. And prasadam was arranged in the nearby Kalyan Mandapam. And during morning time, we were having prasadam, and first time I was having that traditional South Indian prasadam on banana leaves and all, and I liked it very much. And we kept on waiting for the second serving to come, but the another serving somehow didn't come, and we really liked, and we were just waiting, and all other folk boys, devotees, they all had prasadam, they completed, and they all left, but we were still waiting. But finally, when we were feeling embarrassed, we came out, and with hanging faces, and we were very sad that we could not get more prasadam. While we were just talking, from behind, Rasik Shekhar Prabhu came. In a very sweet and affectionate way, Prabhu kept his hand on my shoulder, and Prabhu said, yes, Haribol, this is the nature of the material world. Everything is limited. But don't worry, you should plan to go back to Vaikuntha very quickly, because in Vaikuntha, you will get unlimited prasadam. So that was a very sweet and kind behavior from Prabhu's side.
2 years back, when I visited Vrindavan for Braj Mandal Parikrama, we had around 300 devotees, including temple devotees, congregation, and few folk boys. There was separate arrangement for temple devotees, and Guru Nanak Prabhu was our bus coordinator. he had many activities to engage all the devotees, and each and every activity had deeper messages and lot of learning. In midst of all those messages, all those activities, Prabhu talked about the aspect on prasadam. Once Prabhu shared with us that when we get different varieties of prasadam like sweet, fry, juices and different preparation of rice, and when we are getting all those items, in midst of all those items, if we have not received one variety, one item, we feel so much pain, we feel so much disgusted. So Prabhu was sharing with us that if we value the items which we have received, then we will not lament for the other item which we have not got. And similar in our life, after joining Prabhupada mission, so much blessings we are receiving every day. And if we count all those blessings, and if we are grateful to the Lord for the blessing that we have received, then we will not count all those difficulties that we are facing in our life. If we are always thankful to Radha Krishna that, oh Lord, you have blessed us with so many varieties of facilities, so many different items, then we will not lament for those things that we have not have in our life. It is said that lav matra sadhu sanga sarva siddhi hoye. That moment association with Gunnar Prabhu really changed my entire perspective towards prasadam and towards seeing the life. And till now, I am very much thankful to Prabhu for this message and this learning.
This was when I was in folk, studying in my college. And as usual, as I was progressing in Krishna consciousness along with my studies, some kind of detachment or disinterest in education had actually crept up in my mind. And I remember this day very vividly, very clearly, when I was along with His Grace Gunnar Nava Prabhu, just entering the main temple hall of ISKCON Bangalore. And there, just at the entrance, as I was walking along with Prabhu, he happened to ask me, how are your studies going on? And I immediately said, Prabhu, they're all going on good, but I've lost interest. So then immediately at that very moment, he said, no, you should study so that you can offer this to Srila Prabhupada. And even though he was not a great eloquent speaker, but his words touched my heart. And I felt, yes, I should offer my studies, that's my duty, to His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. So from that day onwards, I became a little more serious. And this was a profound understanding what Srila Prabhupada himself says, that we should offer whatever talents we have in the service of the Lord. Another remembrance of His Grace Rasik Shekhar Prabhu was when we were in folk, we used to do book distribution on Sundays. And I remember so nicely, he used to encourage us, and he used to keep for us prasadam in the evenings whenever we used to come late. And another incident happened is when I had to go to Mysore for a health checkup, and I had to be there for a month because of some physical problems which I had faced. So during that period, His Grace Rasik Shekhar Prabhu was the temple commander in Mysore, and he took utmost care of all the basic needs which I needed at that moment. And I remember how he used to encourage us, especially me, when during the prasadam time or during the seva times, he would keep encouraging and saying, see, don't worry, everything will be fine, everything in whatever happens to our life is managed by the Lord. And these encouraging words are still ringing in my mind, especially when we've lost both these dear Prabhus.
During 2004 Mayapur Yatra, that was the first yatra of ISKCON Bangalore in a large folk group. So I remember how we used to spend a lot of hours during the train journey, where he would personally preach us and inspire us the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. I remember how I started taking up reading books of Srila Prabhupada, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, after he inspired me personally to read and more understand about personality of Lord Chaitanya. It was my great fortune also further after I joined the mission in ISKCON Bangalore, and I got an opportunity to serve under Rasika Prabhu. He was into the fundraising services, and I have personally for a couple of weeks I have been assisting him, and I have seen Rasika Prabhu how he was so fired up, and I could see that he is one of the most gentlest devotee, and I have never seen him being angry, so to say. As an assistant during those days, young, not much exposed to much services, so I have been doing many mistakes, and but although the way he would correct or mend us or train us, I would never seen him being angry anyway. And even if you had to correct, I have noted personally that the person who is getting corrected, he will never feel that sense of angry in him. Although he would definitely would correct us, but he was most of the gentlest devotee that I have ever seen. Very soft spoken. First time when I went along with him, I could see how so many families have been inspired through his endeavor to take up Krishna consciousness, take up chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. And Gundarnava Prabhu, of course, he is one of the most committed and Vaishnava, the most reliable and committed Vaishnava. His it's like, if you ask him something, he will just go and get it done. He is so fully fired up and inspired to preach Krishna consciousness, and his nature is so nice that he would be able to connect and present Krishna consciousness to anyone with any ages of persons, whether they are children, whether they're grown up or elderly. So he can easily connect with everyone, and his nature is so that he will take along everyone to take up Krishna consciousness. And I know how he personally would inspire and made so many devotees to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra in his hometown in Chitradurga, and also he was preaching in Bellary. So we know him for his committed preaching, and he's inspired himself, and he also inspires others to join along with him and take up Krishna consciousness.
So with his grace, Shri Rasika Shekhar Prabhu, I had a very insightful interaction. When I was a bhakta in Bangalore during my early days, and he was my first main preacher, and I had assisted him as an assistant preacher. So one day it so happened that it was my just new early days, and I was doing newly assistant preacher service, not aware of many things. So one day we had gone out for preaching, we came back and we wound up the whole thing at the end of the day. And then at the end he gave me the day's collection and the receipts and asked me to put it in the hundi. So I went and put it in the hundi, and then Prabhu said, okay, that's all for today, we'll meet tomorrow. So next day again we met in the preacher's cabin preparing for that day's visits and all those things. Suddenly he received a phone call, and then he was just responding to the call, okay, yes, in that way. And then he disconnected the call and asked me, yesterday I gave you some money and receipts, what did you do with that? So I said, Prabhu, I had put it in the hundi. Prabhu said, which hundi? So I said, Prabhu, I had put it in main temple hundi. So he said, oh Krishna, why did you do like that? No, why you had to innovate something new? So I said, Prabhu, I don't know, I know only one hundi, that is in the main temple hall, and so I went and put it there. So he said, don't you know there is a hundi in the DCC where we drop our old day-to-day collections? I said, no, Prabhu. Then I said, Prabhu, I dropped it, as you said, put it in hundi, I went and put it in the hundi. So Prabhu told me, see, I spoke some word, you followed that word, but in this whole instruction and following, the spirit or essence was missing. The import of hundi that was within my heart was not in your heart. My understanding of hundi was something else, your understanding of hundi was something else. So you followed my word, but you did not follow my spirit or my understanding. So he emphasized on this philosophical point in a very jovial manner, communicating to me that just going by the word is not enough, but understanding the mood of the instructor is also essential. And that instruction stayed with me all these years. It was 15 years when this happened and still there with me.